decided to do my homework and see, like, compare what happened in Ninja to see what could possibly happen in Super Ninja Steel, as well as all normal rumors and get it. Back to the lodge, it's Lindsay Yale. Well, today, as I mentioned, predictions for Power Rangers Super Ninja Steel. The first bit was the Green Ranger, who actually was only a one-off in one Super Sentai Ninja movie. He was actually like part of this whole like girl ninja society, but she was actually an evil ranger. Kind of cool. Like first evil ranger was green, but that was Tommy. And this is actually the first female Green Ranger, but Kai Ranger takes the cake for that as well, because theirs is part of a core team, and also I'm not one-off like she was. Her name was actually Luna. But really not sure, like, after the whole thing, if she can still become the Green Ranger, because she does not come back in Zaya Ranger vs. Ninja. I kind of pretty much got that first part covered. The second part is more like prediction based, but would kind of make sense and all that. Like the first one, probably the one that would probably make the least sense out of all of this. Is, well, a crossover with Henry Danger and the Thundermans. I kind of figured out that those are more superhero based shows. Don't watch those, but it'd be very interesting because in my morphing they cross over with the Ninja Turtles, and they had the Masked Rider, which is pretty much a knockoff of Kamen Rider, who is paired with Super Sentai during their like showings and all that. Looks like sometimes the Thundermans, Game Shaker, Henry Danger, those are all like paired together. So it's very interesting that, well, Ninja Steel is in the morning, like as it's always been, but those three shows take place in like early evening, like 6 to 8 time frame, which is early prime time action. You know what I mean? Second is with the Disney era, like in Once a Ranger, they brought in Adam Park, so try to make the Jordan era more part of the Ranger continuity, but like RPM, that's definitely not canon at all. Like I can clearly see that, but if Adam Park and Ty Oliver are showing up in the Disney era, then it is obviously canon because those were major characters in the Zordon era. And while technically, even though his background doesn't make sense with Tommy, I do have a reason for that, and also kind of like a reason to back up why Hexagon didn't happen, like in the Rangers universe. And pretty much because of that, all memory of the Rangers was erased, and that's why it feels like anything but a comic to Jane, Dustin, Tori, all the people. But I was kind of mentioning, like, going back to One Stranger for a second, is that the actor that played Shane, he's like, no way, I'm not going to reprise my role ever again. I like how Jack Brandon, who played Jack in SVU, like, for One Stranger, nope. And they decided to have Bridge go to Red Ranger. I'm like, why? Like, we know Sky wanted to be the Red Ranger. Why did they not ask him? Guess they want to either, he said no, and it's not really important, and either be referenced as being the leader, or I don't know. But kind of something more like Once a Ranger would probably make more sense, and not full on meet up, like have like representative from not really many seasons. Like you have Samurai Super Samurai, which could be female Red Ranger, because I don't think she was in for many episodes. I haven't actually watched like all the Power Rangers before all the Nick era Power Rangers before Ninja Steel. So that'd be like probably the Lauren from Samurai. Then we had Mega Force, which Noah, Bark is a little bit techie guy. That'd be interesting on a comeback team. Then Dino Charge, don't know. I haven't really looked into Dino Charge, and then perhaps go from the past, like perhaps Tommy as Aubrey Black or Southlander Black, and then perhaps maybe someone like from perhaps like Andros or someone from like Lost Galaxy or in space, like someone who I haven't really heard of in a while. Might be cool. Mention Cameron as well. That'd be very interesting because technically his equivalent does show up in Super Sentai in a like a New Year special, but there's really no fighting or anything involved with that. Then we see, and coming back to Sky and all, is that see Bridge moved up to blue, but we don't see him in blue at all. We see him in blue in the very last scene of SPD, and then he's red in Overdrive. I kind of would work on like a backstory there, like backstory of the events between SPD and Overdrive, because it's kind of what I wanted to do with my idea for Kyrie Entrich's Power Rangers Constellation. It's kind of like a cross between like a Gokaiser or Nate. It's like a Gokaiser war motif, like Navy, not pirates. And you have two teams and all. Two teams, they come together. One's a all guy team. One's a mix of 3 girls, 3 guys. So you have a four male group is Boy Scouts or Boy Rangers, because I think they'd be allowed to use that and not Boy Scouts, because Mr. Smith Goes to Washington, because I think, yeah, Mr. Smith Goes to Washington was a Paramount film, and Nick is part of, and Paramount and Nick are owned by Viacom, so it'd be very allowed to use that. And then 3 girls being gymnasts, and then the other 3, then all 3 guys like golf, but one of them does a water polo as well. And then you have 2 mentors. One is like the mentor in a Kyrie Ranger, who becomes the Constellation Commander, and then the other one becomes the Unknown Soldier. And technically in that episode, there would be an Easter egg to past seasons, which would actually be the opening of the Super Constellation. Like each Ranger, when they morph, it's on a time change, so Ranger forms of all past Ranger seasons are used. Not all represented as well. Saying like though you have 11 Rangers being represented, the 12th is being created, and then I don't know if there will be more Rangers after Soldier being introduced. I was thinking, well, they did the US exclusive Titanium Ranger, so I was like thinking like with 2 of the more tech characters, one from each team could make a giant giant suit one, like thing. I was thinking of the Iron Beetle, which is in colors as titanium with Hunter's helmet, but like it would actually be taken on by the male who's with the Boy Rangers, not the young girl who's associated with the Rangers. And well, thing is that since there's no Blue Ranger after guy gets promoted, Sam would step in, but he already has his Mega suit, so he's called Omega Blue, named Nova Callan. And they're seen a little bit briefly in special, which would be Forever Green. I don't know if they would do that in a Ninja Steel, but they're seen like it's before Doggy and Guy Promotions. In the end, you see Bridge in red, Sky, and then Nova in her gunmetal suit. She's technically the Green Ranger. She's in the Green Ranger robes, but she's not the Green Ranger for Green. SPD is not represented in the Ranger team. And he's actually called Nova Shadow, because Sky decides that if he would ever morph again, he would probably take purple, which is an Easter egg to being stuck to the Constellation Commander. Purple, and technically that's a female in Constellation, but first Purple Ranger was a mentor and he was male. That was Jungle Fury. But going back and it's like more with like future seasonal was into next season. Like in there was a little mini episode of Dino Thunder when all their history is thrown into the morphing grid and they saw a little Easter egg to SPD. I could see that as well as like, but since there hasn't been really an animal one or a space one in quite a while, like or space, like you have Jungle Fury and then you had Lost Galaxy, which is a hybridism, an animal and a space. Like not really a hybrid, like they just did a space motif over an animal. So I was thinking actually doing a hybrid, like once like the first season could be more Zaya Ranger footage based and the other one more Kai Ranger footage based, even though Zaya Ranger ended up with 7 and Kai Rangers are up at 9, because Kai actually translates to 9 Rangers. Actually with the ending, actually with the second part is Kai Rangers means 9, translates to 9 Rangers. So it's only up with 7 Rangers even though you're using footage that could have had 12, 13, I think most, I've seen a lot of shots that only use like 7 or 8 of the Rangers. And one time, like, in like battle shots, but don't watch the series, I've just seen images. Just kind of... So, like, you have their animal suits, animal Zords, but you use the more of the space motif in it. Like the villains we based off of Kai Ranger, but the thing else, but like main character, but the heroes are Zayu. I do feel both are kind of complex because Zaya Ranger starts off in this like all like parallel animal universe, and Kai Ranger starts off trying to collect the first like 5-6 episodes are collecting the first 9 Rangers. Then the commander becomes the 10th. You get a little kid who's the 11th. Then there's the 12th one that we know of but hasn't been introduced yet. Yeah, and now again, like, there's weird mechanics there with Constellation as well, with how I would have done it. Again, it's like a nail motif doesn't really quite work with translating a space motif. I really wouldn't even use their suits at all, except maybe for like the Marine mode upgrade. So it's like, because it's more like metallic and like hard working, kind of like the SWAT mode, kind of the equivalent of that. Kind of starting to have my own custom Power Rangers, not so much you could see in the future, but other fun ideas I was thinking about with them. Like Power Rangers Ninja Steels, like with more of the minor characters, like Victor and Mick. I kind of their being in a relationship is kind of like Gaston and the food, like because Mario has a lot more of the background work for Victor, but just have this Gaston like personality. I wonder if they would actually do that as like an episode, but well, certainly it's not. It's owned by Disney, then I think they could get away with it more, but not so much since it is owned by Saban and it is Paramount and Nick, all that. So this is Lindsay Yale again. Predictions, they don't always come true, but like in predictions videos, some that we already knew was gonna happen. Like we kind of know that there is a big crossover happening in Super Ninja Steel. Probably already shot it, so we kind of know that there is gonna be a big crossover, but we don't know who's gonna be in that crossover. It's past Rangers, or like my idea that we could actually see other Nick shows represented. You know? So think about that. That'd be interesting to see other shows from the network on there in Power Rangers, or just keep all future crossovers just Power Rangers or related series from Japan, like Reg episodes, like I was mentioning with Masked Rider and Kamen Rider. I think I've had a talk about Power Rangers for today, so This is Lindsay Yale. Be sure to comment, like, subscribe, strike the bell if you already are. And I'm on Instagram at ly_entertainment. I think it's pronounced more how I have the Twitter one now. But ly_entertainment on Twitter. And yep, I'll see you next week.